Legend says that the Chinese Emperor Qianlong discovered tea when a tea leaf accidentally fell into his boiled water which he was drinking. The Classic of Tea by Chinese writer Lu Yu is the earliest known monograph written on tea. The book explains everything about tea, including how to grow it. Tea used to be used as money and was sold in the shape of bricks. In the Song dynasty, powdered tea was introduced, which was easier to brew. And in the 13th century, people started roasting the tea leaves instead of steaming it, and crumbled it to make what we now see as loose tea leaves. Tea rose in popularity and spread to Japan, where it became the drink of the higher classes. The popularity of tea spread all across Asia and to Europe, and tea trading became quite popular through the Silk Route. The Dutch East India Company was established and brought tea leaves to Europe. In the 1650s, tea rose in popularity in England. The British wanted to overthrow the Chinese monopoly over tea trading and started trading opium in exchange for tea, which led to the Opium Wars. Trading tea then spread to the British colonies, including India. Now, in India, tea was already being used for its medicinal purposes. The British saw that the Indian climate was favourable for growing tea bushes and wanted to grow tea in India. In 1849, Robert Fortune went to China disguised as a merchant and brought back seedlings and knowledge about growing tea. The samples were planted in Darjeeling and Assam. However, they didn't flourish because of the warmer climate and lower elevation. More research followed, and it was found that the tea bushes already growing in Assam were a better variety than the Chinese bushes. The British East India Company began mass production of tea leaves and spread it to other parts of the world. India slowly became the largest tea producer in the world for nearly a century. In 1833, Dr. Christie noticed camellia shrubs which closely resembled the tea bush. He applied for a land grant to plant tea, but passed away before the seedlings from China arrived. 2 years later, Lord William Bentinck set up the Tea Commission and planted some seedlings from China in the Ketty Valley. But the experiment failed and the farm was closed in 1836. Later, George Guavard found tea plants and nurtured them and published an account of the same in the Asiatic Journal. In 1870, Travancore's ruler granted 588 square kilometres of land on lease to J.D. Munro, a Scottish tea planter and a lawyer, and tea made its way to Munnar. In 1875, tea made its way to the slopes of Pyramid. Pyramid became a haven for tea estates because of its optimum elevation, moderate climate, rainfall pattern and soil. Misty Mountain came into being on these slopes of Pyramid and focused on the year-round harvesting and processing of orthodox tea. Tea estates like Misty Mountain also play a major role in preserving the forests by having reserve areas which are protected, and efforts made to ensure that these rainforests are protected from poaching, clearing and felling of timber. And that, folks, is the story of how the leaf came to Misty Mountain. Now it's time for you to hear how the leaf ends up in your cup of tea. Tea can be manufactured in two ways, the orthodox method and the CTC method. Even though both are essentially black teas, the difference lies in the machinery used and the degree of maceration. Here at Misty Mountain, we focus on the orthodox method. At Misty Mountain, it all starts with plucking the tea leaves. During harvesting, 2 or 3 leaves and a bud are picked. This is called fine plucking, which results in high-quality teas. A plucking interval of 7 days is maintained, and the plucked leaves are collected in bags or baskets carefully so that the leaves are not crushed by overloading. After weighing the leaves, they are checked to eradicate any foreign matter and then laid out loosely on wire mesh in withering troughs to a depth of 3 feet. Fans blow hot air over the leaves while it withers on the wire mesh. This ensures that the moisture in the leaf is extracted and the leaf is ready to withstand the strain of rolling without breaking up. Depending on the moisture content, it could take 12 hours for the withering process. The leaf emits a fragrant odour by this time. After the leaves are withered, they are moved to the rolling machine, which rotates horizontally. The leaves are rolled around 2 to 3 times, and in the process the cells in the leaves are bruised, resulting in their sap being exposed to the action of air. The chemical substance found in the cell sap gives tea its characteristic colour during infusion. The rolling process twists the leaf, and the leaves break open, triggering the next process, oxidation. When rolling is complete, the leaves are spread to a thickness of 1 to 1.5 inches on fermentation tables or troughs and left to ferment for up to 2 hours. During this period, the enzymes inside the tea leaf come into contact with the polyphenols and air and start to oxidize, creating the flavor, color, and strength of the tea. The leaf turns from green to light brown to a coppery brown at about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This stage is critical to the final flavor of the tea. If left for too long, the flavor will be spoiled. To arrest the oxidation process, the leaf is passed through hot air dryers, where it remains for about 20 to 22 minutes at a temperature of about 70 to 100 degrees Celsius. The total moisture content is brought down to 3%. This drying process stabilizes the changes so that the finished leaf will not spoil. The dried tea is then sorted into grades before packing. Sorting machines, which are fitted with wire mesh trays that revolve or vibrate, are used for this. The tea is passed over wire meshes of varying sizes. The whole leaf, the broken leaf, fannings, and dust grades are segregated according to size. The different grades of tea are then packed and then dispatched to the market. Our tea is grown at an altitude of 3,500 feet in an extremely distinct and biodiverse environment, which reflects in the unique liquor we produce. Our tea is a rich, luscious Auburn and has the unique fragrances of the Western Ghats. At Misty Mountain, we guarantee superior quality by taking special care in our field practices, process practices, manufacturing processes, and sorting. Misty Mountain, brewing a better day.